Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
I have an idea.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a blustery day here in Martensville, but hopefully everybody's sequestered in a nice warm spot to watch this continuing live coverage on the Curling Stadium Network of the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2 event. Second game of the day that I've had the opportunity to broadcast. We've seen some outstanding curls, some outstanding shot making, and we're featuring the game here between Riku Yanagisawa. Let me try that one more time, and apologies in advance for the names I mispronounce. Riku Yanagisawa and Kelly Knapp. I better be able to get Kelly's name right. He's a Saskatchewan team that has featured well at the provincials for the last few years here in Saskatchewan and should as well again this year. Couple of things, and I'm going to bring one of them up right now. Different rules that are in play for this particular event. One of them is that you can only blank one end per team. If you blank a second end, and it has happened even in the Grand Slam this year. I think I've heard it's happened twice already, going on at Marlis Belcher in Saskatoon right now alongside this event. You can blank one. If you blank the second one, you will lose the hammer. And, you know, that's important as we get play into the house here. And Yanagisawa aware of that, so throwing the corner guard here. Satoshi Koizumi, is the lead for this team. The second, Takeru Yamamoto. The third is Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi. And, of course, the skip, Riku Yanagisawa, in the house. For the Knapp team, new front end for the team this year, but the players all familiar with each other. Matt Ring throws the lead stones. Dustin Kidby throwing now, throws the second stones, and has basically been the fifth man for this team for a couple of years now. And he's been that Swiss Army knife fifth man where he has played any position they've needed to fill in, including skip at times. So they have just moved him around. This is no stranger to him to play whatever position he needs to. He's playing second this year. Brennan Jones, the third, and Kelly Knapp, the skip of the former provincial champions. You saw the quick check over the shoulder by Riku, just making sure there are already 5 rocks have been played, so this is not a free guard. He can make a play on the guard. Not trying the run through double. He's looking to hit and roll behind the corner guard. Just noticing names on the back and double checking my lineup. I've got my mention of how they were playing. It's not quite right. Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi throws the third stones, but he's the skip in the house. Riku Yanagisawa throws the fourth stones, and he was sweeping on that last attempt. Stuffed the run. Knapp looking at coming around again. You could throw another guard as well. Waiting on this to curl. Do think the call was to be a guard, but this is going to get awfully tight to the red. They sure don't want to line it up. Probably just get away with it. Hard to know for sure. There's going to be some drag when those stones are that close together. You got to think he plays the double peel. Again, going to try to do it and roll his shooter into the rings. And even see the hip tap there. He's thinking bumper weight. Might be able to get 2 reds into the rings with this, even if it doesn't drive it onto the yellow in the house. And it might. There's going to be some drag there. They're lined up to go past it, but when he's hitting it on the broom side, that red is going to drag over a bit. Sweeping for curl. They want to hold the shooter. Drags, but not enough to make contact. Now, will the shooter make the rings? No, but it does get nice line for that second guard and a little spin back at the end. It's now partially exposed. Probably close enough to splits as well. Kelly Knapp asking for a come around on that. They're going to try to keep the force alive here. Plenty of curl here in Martensville. They're going to have to be careful to get by that one. On it most of the way down to make sure they got by. Just gets by. Now will it stop in front of the tee line? Kind of had to go for a line there, but slid a little deep. Not horrible where it is. The freeze is going to have to be on the corner to be shot rock. If he gets too close to the nose, the yellow could still be sitting 2. But a good corner freeze here could outcount both of those yellow stones for now. Chance for Yamaguchi to at least put some pressure on here. You saw how close Brennan Jones came by the guard. They're going to have to stay on the corner here, so this has to come by the guard with a fair bit more room. It's going to be tight coming by. If it gets by at all, it's not going to get by. Just a little bit light. Now the overhead's working. Our other screen's frozen. There we go. Kelly Knapp looking at the double now. Hit the red that was just thrown. Come into the back end of the other one. Your shooter will still protect that yellow at the side of the 8-foot. But you can get rid of 2 dangerous stones here. Going to get the one a little bit thick, comes across and overlaps it onto the red stone, and that's key because for now there's no run double available, but another chance for the freeze, and if he makes it, there's not going to be a run for Kelly Knapp either. don't think they really wanted that overlap. They were actually looking to nudge the second one by overlapping it like that. This shot could set up a deuce for Yamaguchi. Does look to have more line early. Brushers were really just cleaning, just waiting on the line. This is close. He's got a nice line coming in. And it will come to rest for shot rock. That's the problem that Kelly Knapp has because of that overlap. You know, the red didn't get to corner frozen. He'd have a run available if he could see all of the yellow, but it's not there with the overlap. He's looking at making a play on the Yellowstone now, bring his shooter and that Yellowstone into the rings, and that's just to open up the red one for his next shot. Now, the nice thing, if you could bring a couple of these in, there's a limit to how wide Yamaguchi's going to be able to go with the next stone. He's got to stay somewhere in the middle of the house so that he's got a chance to score two with it. And if you stay somewhere in the middle, he could leave a double. Kelly Knapp with his first, without last rock. Looking to make a play on the tight corner guard and bring a couple of yellows into the rings. Going to be a little thin on the first one. Spills it in to be shot and actually nudges the other one up just a little bit. Riku Yanagisawa throwing the four stones. He's going to have to make a play on the yellow. So you can see the call looking to roll towards the center line. But he won't kill the red if he touches it. But there is a chance if he touches that red, and if he's going to hit the center line side, there is a strong chance he's going to touch the red. He doesn't have to move it very far before it's not second shot anymore. Boy, this is going to have to curl if he's going to stick around. They're trying. They'll make the hit. He touches that red fairly solidly. And the shooter goes out of play. The red wide open now. Not shot rock. The yellow is shot, but you got to think Kelly will make a play on this. Try to sit 5. Might want to roll just about 6 inches to the broom side, just so that it's pretty even with the one on the other side of the top 8. And then Yamaguchi and Yanagisawa are going to have to make a decision. A nose hit on either stone might not be shot rock. So are you playing a hit and roll, or are you just going to play a straight draw against 5 in the first end? Kelly Knapp, they were winners in their openers here in this event. So they come into this game with a record of 1-0. Yamaguchi dropped their opener. 4 games for each team in the round-robin qualifying portion. Going to get the nose hit, no roll at all. Does sit 5, but I think, well, a nose hit might do it. Certainly any kind of roll to the inside would be good enough for the single. So here it is, final stone of the first end. Against 5. Needs to make the little hit and a roll towards the center line to pick up the single. And they're sweeping for Curl. If he stays on the outside, it could be a steal. Gets the hit, stays pretty much right there. Well, it's close, but it looks like they're in agreement. It will be a single point for Yamaguchi. They take the single and the lead here after an end of play. Kelly Knapp will have last rock in the second.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Sean Joyce here with you live. Happy to be bringing you this coverage from the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2 event in Martensville. 16 teams on the men's side, 16 teams on the women's side playing for spots in the playoffs to get through to playoffs on Saturday, and the championship final in this particular event will be on Sunday, and that moves to Merlis Belcher in Saskatoon to play alongside the Grand Slam event. 1-0 after one end of play. Yamaguchi with the lead. Kelly Knapp with last rock. The center guard thrown up to start this end, and the come around sliding deep. I mentioned in the first end the one blank rule. You can only blank one end. If you blank a second one, that's per team. If you blank a second one, you will lose last rock. The other difference in the round robin portion, tie games are not determined by an extra end. It'll just be a draw to the button. And as much as that's a little bit more even for the two teams, there's no advantage in an extra end. It will affect the way some teams will play that last end of play, I would think. If you go into a last end knowing that, well, we've got hammer in the extra end, you can play that a little bit more conservatively. We got 6 ends before we have to worry about how everybody's going to play the 8th end, however. Looking for the come around here. This took a long time to get across. They had to let it slow down a bit, too. That's just behind the tee line. That's not where they would have liked it to end up. Probably hoping it was going to stop a little bit sooner. If you knew it was going to be that deep, they might have picked up the brush early and tried to bring it back 4, back 8, where there's room for more than one. Yamamoto now with a chance to come down, sit on top of that with a freeze, and will drastically shrink the scoring area. And Knapp might have to play cleanup a little bit. Well, comes up a little bit short. It is Full 8 foot in front of the house. It's still in a position where it could be tapped up. Hard for Kelly Knapp to play it through right now, so they're looking at corner freeze, and they're talking about either side. I don't think they're seriously considering the come around. I think what they're worried about is if you corner freeze, there is a chance that Yamaguchi plays the come around to freeze on the other side. They're playing that same out turn. I'm not sure here whether they're trying to come around the red one or just corner freeze to it. There's so much curl here and late finish that you could come around that stone and still be in front of the tee line buried. Looks like the freeze, and it looks like it's short. Oh, and they touch the guard but still continue to curl, so now they've overlapped the guards. That's one where they might have been happier where they knew it was that short. If it would have crashed off and at least not left them staggered, they might have to play appeal on the guards of the next one. It's another chance for Yamamoto in the meantime to make that freeze to the stone just behind the button. Brusher's just cleaning. He's got a lot of room right now, but you've seen how much late finish there is here. They have to get by their own stone at the top 8. Look at it go from the hog line in. Probably needed to go a little bit for weight on that too. That might have been a little wider than they had thrown so far, and that one will come up short in the 8 foot as well. Things are getting a little messy here for Kelly and Knapp. We're still on second stones. The outturn's probably still there. It's really tough because of how wide you'd have to go to get around the stone that was just delivered. These calls might all be influenced a little bit by the blank rule, because as much as it looks like we're a long ways from the blank right now, if you were to go up and double peel the guards and Yamaguchi decided to make a play in the rings, you'd have to start blowing things up. So he's trying to find a way to get another one in there. So they're going to see if they can't make that wide path around the stone that was just thrown. Pressure's on it now. They need to hold it out there wide as long as they can because they know it's going to curl at the end. There it goes. Wow, that is a great draw. Again, just a shade deep, but I don't think there's any way they're getting to the shot stone around that outturn side. They do have the tap on their own. That's what they're looking at. And now there's a pocket just behind the tee line, so if they get close to the nose on their own, tap it into the pocket, Knapp's going to have a hard time even getting to that stone. Won't be doing on the next one. I'm not even sure you could open up a path to it with one peel. Big shot right here. You make this tap it right into frozen between those yellows, and it might take Kelly Knapp a couple of shots just to clear a path to get at it. Had sweeping from both sides, so they've got to be close, off and on. Looking for curl now. He's got the tap. He's got the line. Does he have the weight? Well, he's sitting second for sure, but I think the yellow at the back of the button still shot rock. Certainly looks like it from that overhead view. But now if you're Kelly Knapp, what could you even do? You peel the guards, it's red onto red into the 2 yellows, and you're sitting 5 against you buried. So he's looking at throwing up the center guard with last rock. You don't have a ton of choices here. You do have to be careful where you put this guard. Anything too tight to the rings, and Yamaguchi could elect to run it back. Well, that solves the run back because he overlapped it again. Yamaguchi can see just a sliver of that second yellow one. He's thinking they might be able to hit the outside of it, and you may not make the double, but he doesn't have to push that Yellowstone at the back button very far to be shot rock at the top of the button. Well, they're looking at the freeze now as well. The freeze would certainly set something up for the next one. The problem with that is he's just going to guard it. Yeah, I think they can make a play on that. Double on the yellows. Hard to imagine he could hurt himself. Even if he crashes on the red at the top, it's going to catch the other yellow, or the other red one, pardon me, and start to spill back in towards the forfeit. So looking just to come by tight on his own stone at the top of the 8-foot, catch a piece of that yellow at the side of the 4-foot, and then move it straight sideways into the shot rock. They're looking for curl. Can't see very much, doesn't need to hit much more than what he can see. He does push it. And I think he pushed it far enough that he's got shot rock. Boy, it's close. Well, if Kelly Knapp's looking to freeze to his own, not the little shrug would suggest, what else do we have? But if he's looking to freeze to his own, I would think he's probably thinking the red is shot rock. Angle is probably there to peel off all the guards now just because of the way they're angled, but this highlights the danger. If you throw a center guard with last rock and now already on his next stone, that guard's in the way. So they're going to try to deal with all 3 of them. The double should come across the top of the 3rd one and push it towards the rings, and it will. With that spin, it'll go all the way through. I still think the red is sitting shot, but he's looking like he wants to make a play on the ring and the rings. They're going to end up playing the guard. If you're sure the red's the shot rock, you play the guard here, because right now I don't think they can get that red out of the top of the button. I think it rattles between the 2 yellows. The hole doesn't look big enough to me, and that would be pretty precise to try to put it through there anyway. Sweeping here for curl. I just want to take away the direct path of the two reds that are together. Brennan Jones seems to think they can hit the open red one across the top of the second one. That would be into the back yellow, and he must think it'll wiggle through there. Doesn't look like a very big port between the two yellows right now. If it just rattles and stays there, that's not a great option. Then they'll bring another one on top, and it could be a steal of two. Wow, they're looking at playing another guard. I hate this call. So Yamaguchi already eyeing it up, but this is the problem. You guard that direct path to the freeze, and Yamaguchi has a choice. Do you want to play red onto the yellow at the back of the button? There is a chance you double the two yellows. Even if you just stuff it, I don't see any chance for Kelly Knapp to score with his last one. This almost looks like he's just trying to hold him to a steal of one. Well, they're electing to throw a guard. I'm not sure what they're guarding, but it's a case of there's a time clock running. So pick a shot, throw it. I don't see anything else coming into the house on the next one anyway, but they're discussing something at the hack end. So Karuizawa going to go down and take a look. Maybe the front end saw something. He's not sure what the angles were. He's got to go back down and take a look. It looks to me like red is shot rock right now, and I don't see any way to get it out. So now they're thinking to guard the yellow one that was just thrown. I guess maybe concerned that there might be an angle run on there. It might be there. I don't think you play it in the second end. There's all kinds of ways that could go wrong. So they cover the yellow, and it looks like Kelly Knapp's going to try to come off that stone that's just barely in play at the divider. Or is he just throwing this away? This has got a lot of risk associated with it. I'd say there's a better chance you come onto the red in the 8-foot than there is that you get to the red on the button. And if you come to the red in the 8-foot, it goes off the other one and then straight back. Well, it's curling enough. I think he's hitting it thick enough. It really isn't going to matter. Spins through the house, and it will be a steal of one. Yamaguchi jumping out to a 2-0 lead after 2 ends of play here in Martensville. Kelly Knapp with last rock once again in the third.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game.
Third end action just underway here in Martensville, and that second end, a good example of just how important it is to keep your rocks in front of the tee line. Early on in the end, we had a couple of rocks for the Knapp team slid to the back of the tee line. Yamaguchi's team came up short a couple of times. They were rocks in the 8-foot, so as much as at that time Knapp was sitting 2, Yamaguchi was still in the driver's seat and was able to pick up the steal. Here we've got Yamaguchi's team sliding to the back of the house. It's a stone that's not really any danger to the Knapp team. They throw up the corner guard. May have gotten it a little wider than what they would have liked, but it's at a good height to come around. With a 2-point lead, Yamaguchi not interested in any center guards. Going to bring another one into the house in the middle. Top 4-foot with that one. Yamaguchi sits 2. Knapp talked about the nose hit. Now they're looking at coming around. Back to the nose hit. You know, you're fine with either call here. That's one of the nice things about ice that curls this hard. You could afford to ignore this, come around the center guard, or the corner guard, pardon me. This is still a free guard zone, so they're probably not going to make a play chasing around a corner, because if they ever crashed it, it would go back. But there's nothing they can really do in the middle. You know, there's no kind of center guard that they can throw that's so good with one guard that you can't get to that stone. They make the double. Now Yamaguchi will look to exchange stones. And this is where the blank rule can start to come into play, because Yamaguchi here may try to keep this relatively open, see if he can't force Kelly Knapp to use his one and only blank end here in the third. Well, this roll to the corner won't help them. Behind the corner guard and behind the tee line, this has got freeze written all over it. A fairly risk-free end now starting up for the Knapp team. Nothing in the middle that they have to worry about. Good corner freeze here, just slightly on the corner on the center line side to sit shot rock. And they could try to set up the 2 points they need to tie this game up. Nice line early. It actually might have overcurled just a bit at the end. Well, Yamaguchi saying it is the Yellowstone that shot rock. Certainly the yellow's in a dangerous position. It's in a better position in front of the tee line. So they're going to play the chase, try with enough weight to get it out. Once they're sure about they're by the guard, sweeping for some curl to get it a little thicker. Pushes it through. And will hang the shooter at the back of the 8-foot as well. Yamaguchi now sitting 2. The free's still available for the Knapp team, though. You can afford to be a little bit more on the corner now, even if they could make a shot at removing the yellow. As long as your piece in front of that red, hard to get it by the second red now. Both brushers working on this now. It's as much a question of weight as line. Would like to be right down to it this time. Very close, very nice shot. Puts it right, splitting the tee line on the perfect angle to the red. Even if Yamaguchi could get to it with weight, it would just spill over towards the other red. Still got to play to move it, though. He's actually got to get that red out from behind it just to make sure there's a way to get it out of the rings later on. Tricky little shot here. He's got to throw enough weight to put yellow onto the red, try to move it back. But if he gets to the nose on the yellow, when he does that, the yellow hits the red behind it and then slides over towards the center line a bit more. The yellow could be shot rock, partially covered by this red stone. So you want to try to keep it on almost the exact same angle that they're on now and then stay in front of the Yellowstone. Oh, that's a really good shot. You can see how he hit it just enough off center so that he didn't roll too far because he didn't hit it thin enough to roll. And the yellow stayed right there after it made contact with the red, leaves the angle in the house the same as it was just a moment ago. Another look at it coming in. You over curl this, get to the nose, the yellow pops for shot. You hit it too thin, your shooter rolls open. He hits it absolutely perfect, gets the red out of the way at the back, and leaves himself shot rock. Absolutely surgical. And now with those last two little angle taps as well, even if a shot is made here, and this is not an easy shot by any means, you can see how those two rocks have started to creep out from behind the corner guard. The redstone is completely open. Yellow, even if the red wasn't there, would be mostly open. Brennan Jones now trying to just ever so slightly tick that red over and then have the shooter come to the back one in the middle. Tough to do this without putting the red onto the yellow. Yeah, and he's going to be too thick. And didn't really get much separation between the two of them. The double is flat, and there's a chance you clip the the red at the back. And what I think Yamaguchi talking about, if we roll towards the yellow, even if we make the double, we're going to leave a pocket and he's just going to freeze into it. So I think they've decided to roll open and sit 2. Looking to hit and roll to the open side. Definitely wants to stay, though. Got the hit. Does roll to the back side of the forefoot. Yamaguchi sits 2. Kelly's still looking for a way to address that red stone on the corner. They're going to try the corner freeze here again. Can't be shot rock off this. Could be second. If he gets enough on the corner, they might have a way to pass this red by the yellow later on. And you can always come off this stone if the corner freeze is made towards the shot stone. Brusher's really working this, trying to drag it right down to the corner of that red. He has to be second shot here. He's going to leave that a little bit high. Well, if you had to, you could get to the nose of that. Drive it onto the red. But I don't know if you could bring it across to get the second red or not. Maybe slightly off the nose and roll in. Doesn't look like Yamaguchi's that concerned about the yellow that was just thrown. Certainly you got shot in the middle. And he's going to look to draw, split the rings one more time and try to sit 3. There is probably a hit on the yellow that was just thrown. Probably 3/4 center line side, jam it onto the red, have your shooter roll in. And if there was nothing else in the rings, you might be able to sit second and third that way. Yamaguchi just wants to put this somewhere where that little shot on the yellows at worst is going to be leaving Knapp with 1 potential counter out of it. He can always deal with 1 stone. It's 2 becomes a little tougher. Needs full 8-foot here. Needs full 8-foot, not going to get it. And high enough, does Kelly Knapp have the chance to come all the way across? That's what they're looking at. Hit the one that was just thrown. It's flat. A lot of distance between them. Doesn't have to move the second one very far, though. If he moves it about 6 inches, he could have second, third, and fourth. And that stone at the back of the forefoot starts to look pretty lonely. Probably needs to hit about, I'm thinking about 2/3 with some pace. Playing the out turn here, it'll come off a little flatter. That'll help, but it also deadens the rock coming off. The gear effect working against you when you play the out turn here. Kelly Knapp with his first. Looking for the crosshouse double. Might be able to set up a really big end with this. Nothing out of the brushers, and they've stood right up. He's got to get off the nose. Not going to. So Karuizawa now will simply throw the guard. Well, no, they're talking about coming in again. Got to be a little careful about leaving the around the horn. I don't know that he's got a shot to score more than one if you don't throw. So looking to come right into the 8-foot, sit 3. Line should be fine. Brusher's picking it up a little bit more now. He was short on the last one. Line's perfect for what they had in mind. Gets by the yellow and will come to rest. Full 8-foot. Yamaguchi sits 3. Kelly Knapp looks like he wants to play it with just a bumper weight with that ice, I would think, and just try to nose hit that stone in the back of the 4-foot, pick up a single point that way. Final stone of the third end, already trailing by 2, facing 3. Needs the hit and has to stay right there to get his single point back. Brusher's cleaning all the way down. That is starting to move. Has to hit the nose here. It's going to creep across. He'll roll a little bit, but he hangs on to a little piece of the 4-foot. That's enough to pick up the single point. Kelly Knapp on the board now with a single in the third. He trails by a score of 2-1. Yamaguchi will have last rock in the 4th.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Nothing but singles so far through the opening 3 ends. But it is Yamaguchi with the 2-1 lead, and he's got the lead here as we begin play in the 4th. Matt Ring got the center guard up with his first. The come around perfectly buried, just touching the top of the 4-foot. Now Matt Ring will look to come down, sit on top of that stone. A little bit strong, comes all the way around everything and to the back of the 12-foot. So another chance now for Yamaguchi to bring something into the top of the house. Try to sit 2. Put some pressure on here with last rock in the 4th. And that's going to come up short. Ends up as a slightly staggered guard. If you had to run it straight back, I guess you could. Still probably helps Kelly Knapp as he's trying to establish something around the middle. Dustin Kidby looking for the come around now. Any room by the guard, but they're looking to come around the stone at the top of the 4-foot now. Well, this might be plan B, where they're just going to try to freeze to it. Or maybe they're going to get caught in the middle. I thought the initial call was to come around. That almost looked like they swept it as though they thought it wasn't going to get there and they could make the corner freeze. They end up beside the red in the house, and I still think it's the red sitting shot. Does look like it from that view. So a chance for the double peel now for Yamaguchi. And if you hit the first one a little bit thin, it might spin into the rings. Hit it a little thin, it'll be thick off the yellow and should have some spinning action. You may be able to spin it into the rings and create another rock that's a problem for Kelly Knapp. Now this is going to curl too much to be that thin. Didn't touch and come back and get the other yellow? Nope. Well, essentially all that did was make the shot stone wide open. Kelly Knapp kind of drew it up for you there. It's almost as good as having a telestrator. He's thinking about hitting the red, come across, just touch the yellow, spin up in behind the guard. Of course, the first yellow, when you touch it, it's going to come back and a little farther in behind as well. Doesn't need to touch it very far. Like to get some separation on the yellows. Maybe move it back a foot into the full 4-foot. So makes the hit, but stuffs it on the back one, and that needed to curl. They were kind of sweeping that on the wrong side. He's left the double. I think they were expecting a bigger finish there. They kept it clean from the inside most of the way down, not wanting to lose the line, but it never really got the finish. This is left a double. This needs to come up a little bit as well. He'll make the double. Where's the shooter going to end up? It will stay in the rings, but pops out into the open past the yellow guard. Brennan Jones being asked to make a play on that open stone, try to roll in behind the yellow himself. On the sweep early, off, on again. Got the hit, gets a little bit of a roll, enough to be shot stone. Still probably half to 2/3 exposed. Yamaguchi looking to come tight by the guard. Remove that yellow and hold his shooter in the ring somewhere as well. By the guard. Is he going to get it by the stone at the back? Oh, just clears it. Yamaguchi again sits 2 with last rock. One more look at this. It's not the line by the guard that they're worried about. It's as you hit this stone, he was getting awfully close to hitting it where he would need to jam, and boy, that just cleared the stone at the back. You jam that, and that changes things dramatically. The hit and another attempt to roll behind the guard, and this time rolls past the yellow and still stays in the open. Yeah, you jam that back stone, leave Knapp sitting 1. He might elect to just come around and try to steal this end. As long as you're sitting 2, you kind of force him to play the hits. Yamaguchi again making a play on the Yellowstone back of the 4-foot. He cannot cross it to roll behind his own, so he's going to have to try to roll behind the yellow corner or out into the open again. You're deep enough. You might not want to stay buried on this, but you definitely want to stay in the rings. This is going to hit. How far is it going to roll over? Well, he does stay in the 12-foot. Shot rock belongs to Yamaguchi at the back 12, closest to the center line. The one that was just thrown is second. There may be a double off it. It's flat, but he can see all of this rock and plenty of air to the inside. And this is where that one blank rule can start to be a factor. There's only 1 point separating the two teams here. If Kelly Knapp could ever force a blank here in the 4th, now he can play the 5th a little bit more defensively, forces Yamaguchi to play a little bit more aggressively in the 5th because he can't afford another blank end. He'd lose the hammer. And that's the thing for a lot of these top teams. They've trained themselves. They're so conscious of odd end versus even end. They really don't want to have to play to score in an odd end. Not able to make the double, however. Not even able to get shot rock, and that gives Yamaguchi, and in this case, Karuizawa, who throws the final pair, a chance to come around and sit 2. Might have been playing this shot no matter what. If you make the double there for Knapp and Yamaguchi doesn't want to get forced into a blank here, he's probably got to play this come around, but now a chance to set up 2 with it. You just come in enough to get shot rock at the top of the 8. It won't leave enough room likely for Kelly Knapp to try to move it through, but it leaves him room to come around it. So you got to try to come a little deeper than that. Yet if you get to the T line, he's going to play the freeze. Plenty of room coming by. Nice line. Now bringing it back as far as they can get it. Are they going to get this deep enough? Well, he's sitting 2, but I'm not sure that's deep enough. Kelly looking at the run. There is a run double there. Or you come right around everything to the back of the 4-foot. You might not even have to be that deep. It does look like a tight port with the outturn. Just because of the amount of curl we've seen. By the time he gets off the yellow corner guard, he still has to get by that red at the top of the 8. Brennan Jones wondering about the come around on their own stone as well. Easier to get there, but also might be easier to chase and get it out. So I think that discussion was he looked at this is broom we would need to get to the draw to the button path. We've got to come a foot past the button. So this is the ice they need. He's going to have to be really tight by that stone in the rings to get buried. He's probably going to have to be pretty tight by the yellow corner guard just to get by the stone in the rings. Big shot here, because if he doesn't make this, it's probably 3 the other way, and that might be too many. Kelly Knapp in some trouble here in the fourth without last rock, trying to draw his way out of it. Pressure's down early. Sweeping for curl now. He has to get off the corner guard. They can't really afford to leave it because of the weight. There goes the curl. He's by the yellow. And somehow they get it by the red as well. If anything, he pokes out a sliver the other way. What a fantastic curling shot. Great job by the brushers as well. Take one more look at this. They actually switched just inside the Zax logo because they weren't sure they were getting by the corner guard. It just gets by the corner, and as it does, it takes that big turn and almost rubs the redstone coming by. Ends up perfectly splitting the tee line. He's dead buried on a stone at the top of the 8-foot. And it looks like Yamaguchi and Yanagasawa have decided all we've got is the draw. What a fantastic shot to force a draw. I mean, you don't make that. You rub either one of those stones on the way by. This is for 3. And the game is probably, for all intents and purposes, over. Now you've left that same shot for Yanagasawa. He's still got to negotiate that port. It's just for 1. And if he doesn't make the port, we're all tied up. Looks like more weight early. Just waiting for it to get off the guard. They're trying to help it over. A little bit of a carve. There it goes. He's by. With that little bit extra weight, he's got more room by the second one. He'll come and bounce off that Yellowstone that was just thrown in. Yanagasawa answers back against Kelly Knapp's outstanding draw with one of his own. Does pick up the single point. Nothing but singles on the board so far. 3 of them for Yanagasawa, 1 for Kelly Knapp. 3-1 the score. Kelly Knapp with last rock after the break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The teams do have the option of a short break at the end of the fourth, but it looks like we're right back into the action here. Kelly Knapp trailing by 2. He does have last rock as we begin play here in the fifth end. Sean Joyce with you here live for the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2. Make sure you stay tuned. All weekend long, we will have everything through to the playoffs, through to the semifinals Saturday night. The finals on Sunday go into the Marlis Belcher Center in Saskatoon alongside the Grand Slam that's currently going on. I believe that final televised on Sportsnet as well. Both of these teams certainly in the hunt. Kelly Knapp picking up the win in his opening game. Yamaguchi lost their opener, but bouncing back here with a strong start to this game. So a touch on the redstone coming by. Did not move it off the center line. That's perfectly okay. The Yellowstone spun, and the two teams had to agree. They agree that it's in the house. If it's in the house, it's not a free guard. And so Yamaguchi electing to hit it. Would like to stay right there, so they're trying to make this curl. Gets a little bounce to the outside. Kelly Knapp again asking Matt Ring for the come around. Plenty of room coming by this time. He will get a little bite of the forefoot, but still mostly open. Yamamoto will look to play the hit and try to roll just a bit to the outside. Makes the hit, just enough to pass it through the back and out of play, and shooter rolls across, stays on the side of the 8-foot. Kelly Knapp thinking about making a play on the Reds, and this is, again, where that blank rule starts to become a factor. Might be able to get all three of them. I mean, it's close. You hit the red closest to the broom first, come across, get the back end of the second guard. Shooter might spill in, and the stone that's on the center line now could catch that red in the side of the 8-foot. But if you do all of that, Yamaguchi could try to force this through for the blank. Too thick on the first one, however. Just pushes the second one across, leaves the shooter up for a guard. So trying to come around that tight yellow guard now. Would like to stop just in front of the tee line, but it's going to slide behind again. Now, if you're Kelly Knapp, you could follow that down, try to just straight freeze to it, or you play the hit and roll and do it that way. And one of the reasons you're playing the hit and roll here is to keep the blank alive. Again, there is the rule you can only blank one end, but Kelly Knapp's down 2 as we're playing in the 5th here. If you blank the 5th, it's unlikely that you're going to be in a situation to blank another end. Gets the hit, does come across, touches the red back. Actually, that leaves it in a better position for Kelly Knapp and spins up. Shot rock buried. Well, that's a fantastic shot. One more look at it. Dustin Kidby on the out turn. They sweep for a little bit of curl just outside the hog line. Gets about half a stone, comes across, nudges that red, spins up in front of it. Yamaguchi now looking to come down for the corner freeze himself. Because that red stone's behind it, he can't really make a play to move it too much either. You bounce off this, you're open. If you're short, and this is in danger of being short, did he stay open enough that he can use that stone? Maybe just. Kelly Knapp certainly seems to think that red stone's dangerous. He's looking at playing the run back, yellow onto the red at the top of the 8-foot. On the brush all the way down. He's got to stay a little bit on the high side. Now, will they hold the raised stone as well? They do. Hold it in the side of the 12-foot. That's a big shot. That stone at the back of the 12 puts a little bit more pressure on Yamaguchi and Yanagasawa, because you ever leave a way to get that stone on the back of the 8-foot. 3's in play now. Big shot here when he needs to hit that ever so slightly off the nose, and just off the nose enough that he still leaves his shooter mostly covering that shot stone in the side of the 4-foot. Yamaguchi can get to it, but he's got to be careful now. You're on the corner towards the center line. There is a chance you leave a nose hit where both reds go. Just cleaning. This needs to curl. He's definitely got more weight this time. Might have ever so slightly over curled. The yellow is shot rock. Yeah, they're looking at the run again. Boy, it's awfully close. If you made the run perfect, yellow onto red, clip the yellow behind it, it takes the red in the back 8-foot. You could be sitting 3 with 2 of them dead buried after this. Brennan Jones looking to bring the guard straight back. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Now looking for curl. Needs the nose hit. He's going to be just across the face and drives it by the stones in the rings without harming anything. Karuizawa's first thought was straight guard. Yellow is shot rock, but to play anything in the rings to try to change that, the yellow's probably not leaving. You're going to drive it off the red. Even if it does leave, you're going to leave some kind of shot for 2. If it doesn't leave, though, it could be a shot for 3. Play the guard, at least on the first one, and you make Kelly Knapp make a decision what he's going to play. Well, this is definitely a tight guard. You know, it ends up, it works great, because what does Kelly Knapp do now? Are they far enough apart to drag? If they are, you hit half a rock on the outside, I guess, and try to kill all 3 reds. Looks like that's what they're thinking. So if those 2 reds are close enough to drag, you hit half a rock on the first one, it clips the second one, drags across just a little bit on the third yellow. It's possible that all 3 reds go. It's even possible that the Yellowstone at the back of the forefoot might stay. I don't know if the second red, if it drags that far over that short of a time. We're about to find out. Kelly Knapp with the big weight. Matt Ring with his brush down early. Needs to hit this half a rock or maybe thinner. This is going to get up to the nose. That's not what they were looking for. So that leaves the 2 reds at the top. The yellow at the back. Now third shot. Karuizawa will just look to make a hit on that stone at the back of the forefoot. They talked about rolling behind the reds, but just because of the angle they're on right now, you roll behind the reds, you might leave the run triple. You hit it right on the nose. I don't see a shot for more than 1. Could even make a case for rolling about a rock's width to the broom side, and then Kelly Knapp might have to draw for 1. This is really curling. Got to be a little careful. If he rolls behind the reds, he might leave a triple. Well, they're going to check first. First things that matters is if you hit that on the nose or you shot rock, and I think you are. Boy, that almost rolled enough to leave a triple. It's close. To me, it looks like it goes by. You hit the yellow on basically on the side, on the angle it's at, so about 2/3 on the yellow. Yellow stuffs on the red. The red comes ever so slightly across the face of the one on the button, but it will drag it a bit. I don't think it catches the one at the back of the 4, though. Boy, if that rolls a couple of inches more, it could be a triple for 3. So Kelly Knapp playing this as a draw, but that you did see them check, and I I think they've decided that if they come down to that back stone, the one that was just thrown, they would be shot rock. You could also just rub off the one on the side of the button as well. Well, they're calling their timeout now, and I'm not sure whether this was something that the three players thought about it at the hack end, if somebody said something, or if it's something that Brian McCusker, who is the coach, saw from the other end. So they're looking at the angle in on the yellow guard. Now, if it was there, it might still be for 3. I'm not sure it is. You come in from a sharp enough angle, you might get a little bit more drag. I'm not seeing it myself. If I had my telestrator, Jerry, I'd draw this up for you, but he's looking at, it's the yellow-red combination in the middle, and you could certainly make it to kill 2 reds, and even coming off there, running in the angle on the yellow. If you run the yellow guard in on the angle, it can make it. You could stick that a little bit easier. The problem is, does it catch the 3rd red one at the back? And you're coming at such an angle that even with that distance between those 2 reds, it's going to drag a little bit. I'm just not sure that it makes contact with the 3rd one. You know, as you look at the hack end versus the overhead, the hack end, it does look better. They're going to give it a go. So he needs yellow onto the red. He's got to throw it with some pace, and coming from hitting what he needs to of the yellow, I don't think there's any way he holds his shooter here. So this is going to be just for 2 if it will make contact. So the yellow onto the red comes to the stone on the button. It comes ever so slightly across the top. Because of the pace, that one coming across the top should spin all the way across now to play, and the other one drags a bit. The question is, does it drag enough to catch that stone at the back of the forefoot? Nothing out of the brushers yet. Does this mean he's a little thin on the first one, and we're not going to find out? He's a lot thin on it and doesn't kill anything. It's going to be a steal of 3 for Yamaguchi here in end number 5. He jumps out to a 6-1 lead now. And looks like we're going to play the 6th end, but Knapp trailing now by 5. He will have last rock when we come back to Martensville after the break.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait, do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsocktickets.com. Let's rock!
Well, no real decisions to be made for Kelly Knapp now after giving up that steal of 3 and 5. He's got to pull out all the stops, try to get a big end back here. Realistically, you need to think score 3 here. So they've thrown up one corner guard already. I would expect them to throw the second corner here. Whereas on the other side, Yamaguchi, already with a 5-point lead, doesn't need any guards. Threw the first one into the rings. Won't be happy that they're back 8 on that one, because now that stone at the top of the 8 could be used as a guard. Kelly Knapp will ask Matt Ring to split the house for the corners for now. Gets that one a little bit tighter to the rings, but nice and wide on the corner. It's nice to see these teams making that adjustment right this early in an event. You know, no, I don't think Kelly might have been in Swift Current last weekend. I didn't cover any of his games if he was, but when you get teams that have played just come a week off, maybe a little bit straighter ice, you can kind of forget that you have to get those guards out wide enough to not take your draw path away to the middle. So they've got those guards well out there where they can still come around the corner guards, and yet the corner guards aren't blocking that draw to the button path. Of course, you want to establish something around the corner and then get 1 or 2 in there, 2 hopefully if you're Kelly Knapp right now, and then have the middle for your last one for the draw for the extra point. Ignoring those 3 red stones in the rings, looking to come around one of the corners. In turn first to the one that's a little bit higher. Doesn't need to be shot rock here. Doesn't even need to be second. Like, he could be well back in the 12-foot. He just loved to force Yamaguchi, or tempt Yamaguchi maybe. I don't think you're going to force him at this point in time, but tempt him to maybe just chase. This is going to poke out a little bit to the open. That could help too if he tries to go after it directly, but no, he's not having any of that. You try to go after that directly and chip the guard, put it into the rings, that could bring 3 back into play. He's just going to play the straight peel for now. Makes the hit, comes across, doesn't hit anything else on the way through. Okay, let's play along with Kelly at home. Count the rocks. You've got 3 already down here. You got to throw a 4th one. He's thinking about draw to the back one. I don't like that. I'd be coming around the corner myself right now. You let them hit open ones. You come around the corner right now, and then you draw to the back one on the next shot. Both rushers have been on this all the way down, trying to get right down to that stone at the back. Line's the most important thing here. If you leave yourself about a foot of space, that's not bad. Yeah, like that, that's pretty good. I mean, there's still angle for the double. It's flat. Yamaguchi, and they're sweeping. It's fairly thick. Comes across. He'll nudge that yellow enough to break up the line on the back one, and he spins up into the top of the 4-foot, or back of the 4-foot himself. And that's why I would have gone around the corner first, because now you're getting to the point in the end where you've got 4 rocks left. You got 3 reds you'd have to deal with to bring that back yellow one into play. So you really are never going to get a chance to go around that corner guard now. Got to get by that red at the top of the 8. It's just going to rub it, but thin enough, and it gets a little bit more spin at the end that he still ends up nicely corner frozen onto that stone at the back of the 4-foot. That works out well because there's a chance Yamaguchi takes care of a couple of reds for you here. You never expect them necessarily to miss the run. You're just hoping they take care of a couple of reds without losing both yellows. Gets 1, gets 2, actually takes care of 3 red. And it's now Yamaguchi sitting shot. But Knapp has second. Still got the same problem, though. In order to come around the center guard or the corner guard, he wouldn't be any better than 4th shot, and he's running out of rocks to deal with the 2 reds, so they're going to come around the red stone that's half in the 8-foot. He's got to be real careful not to leave a double here. This has got a ton of room. Needs to bury on a stone in the top of the 8. Trying to get over there. Needs to stop as well, though. Comes far enough to the back that I think it's still Yamaguchi sitting 3rd shot, the one that they came around. They hit that stone at the back of the 8. Now, do you try to hit this on the nose and sit 3, or do you just pick it out? You'd be sitting 2. Looks like they might be trying to get a combination here. You hit it as full as you can and probably quite hard. Sit 3, but take it out off the red one as well. You're going to have some heat to make that. It can be done, though. And Karuizawa throws the big weight very well. Makes the hit. He's just going to stuff the back one. I think that's fine. You're sitting 3. Knapp's only got 2 rocks left. He's got to make a double here. You make this double. I think he's rolling across enough that he's not shot rock. He could at least force Karuizawa to perhaps have to play a draw. Like the only open one's going to be that stone at the back of the 12-foot. Well, yeah, if he hits that one, if he knows hits that one, he's probably still 2nd shot. That would work. The double has to be made first. Kelly Knapp with his first here in the 6th inning, trailing by 5, needs a double on this first one. On the sweep, trying to hold it straight all the way down. Gets 1, catches the second, will cleanly remove both of them. And that does leave just the nose hit on the back one for Karuizawa. One more look at this. They were on the brush all the way down. Tough shot because he's got to hit it quiet enough to hold the shooter, and he's hitting it off the nose. gets to 2/3, 3/4, catches the back red one, removes both red ones absolutely cleanly, doesn't even touch the yellow on the way by. He's got second, third, and fourth, and really the only one that Yamaguchi can get to is the fourth shot stone. Now, if they hit it right on the nose, they will still be sitting 2. And then Scoreboard says Kelly Knapp might have to try the very thin tick double. This has got to stay, though, and it's going to have to curl to do that. They're trying. At the very least, it's rolling to the outside a bit. I think it's rolled too far. Kelly Knapp has a shot for 3 here. Does not need the double. Just needs to get that red to clear everything at the back and hold his shooter. How big would this be? Gave up the steal of 3 last and a chance to get them all back right here in the 6th. And, you know, they're still going to be 2 down without playing the 7th, but it gets you back in the game. Just a very small unforced error there. If Karuizawa hits that right on the nose, he sits 2, and then this attempt, it's still going to be there. I mean, Kelly Knapp's going to have to try it. Scoreboard says you'd need 2 or 3 here, 3 preferably. He would have had to play this as a thin double and catch the red at the back of the 12-foot. As it is now, he just has to make the hit, pass it by his own yellow at the back, and he could pick up 3 points right here in the 6th. Final stone on the way. Matt Ring just cleaning. Sweeping for curl. Back to the straight side. Makes the hit. Will pass it by his own stone at the back. You can put 3 points on the board for Kelly Knapp. Gets the 3 back in the 6th that he gave up in end number 5. Closes the gap. It's now 6-4 for Yamaguchi after 6 ends of play. We'll be back in Martensville for 7th end action right after the break.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game.
Well, as we come back from the break, I think what we can do is predict that the first guard did not touch the center line. So it was not in the no tick zone, and we just missed the tick shot coming back from the break. 2 corner guards now, but Kelly Knapp needs to steal here, needs to set something up on the center. So looking like he's just going to have the 1 guard to work with now. Absolutely critical that Matt Ring can put this one touching the center line somewhere, and you got to be fairly tight with this one. A long guard by itself doesn't really guard much of anything on this ice. They have to back off on the sweep. They need this rock to stop before it crosses the line. And it will stop just in time. Satoshi Koizumi being asked to come around, made a great tick on his first. Time getting a little tight there, as you saw in the back corner. Better for Yamaguchi. They've got, it looked like a little over 5 minutes left, almost 6, with 2 ends to play. Really tight for the Knapp team. And they've got to play all-out offense here. And they've already used their timeout. That one comes up short as well. So just looking to come around everything now. They've got double centers. Actually, that might say 6:57 for Yamaguchi. Pardon me. It's 5:28 on second stones for the Knapp team. Nice come around there by Dustin Kidby. Now that was the 5th stone of the end, so the peels can start now. Kelly Knapp needs to dodge a double peel here. Or the run back more specifically. You can allow them to peel the 2 guards. But if they catch the one in the rings as well, it becomes very tough to set up a steal here. Takiro Yamamoto with the big weight. Looking to move 3 rocks. Gets 1, gets 2, but passes it by the stone in the rings. Well, it's pretty simple from here on in this end. It's try to throw 5 perfect guards. You're going to expect 4 peels, and then you're hoping for some kind of a miss on the last one. Nice thing about this as well for the Knapp team is it allows them to play this in fairly quickly. As much as they're throwing all draws, the clocks nowadays measure thinking time. Well, there's nothing really to think about. They know what they're playing. They're playing guard after guard after guard. That stone is in a good enough position to steal with, as long as they don't leave a piece open where they can pick it out. They'll just have to decide what they want to do with the last one. You know that he's going to chase with the last one. Do you play the guard a little tighter? Do you maybe bite the top of the 12-foot? Kelly Knapp probably already thinking about that. Makes the peel, comes across, touches another red stone, but leaves it in play. A little closer to the divider now. Brennan Jones to try to throw that center guard. Nicely done with the first 2. It's tough to try to perfectly guard a stone that's sitting like that. And interesting that this early in the end, I thought he might play it later to try to move that one. They're going to make the play now. Trying to chase around the center guard, catch that stone at the corner of the button. Not critical that he kills it. He'd like to move it off the button. Keep his shooter in the rings somewhere. Plenty of room by the guard, so they're sweeping now for Curl. He's by. Boy, big finish there. He'll get to the yellow stone, pushes it back. Just to the full back 8-foot. Yamaguchi sits 1 now at the top of the 4-foot. And Knapp will look to move it back. Talking about trying to get it even with the other red. Even if you just move this behind the button, it's not bad. Cleaning early. Now picking up the brush a little harder. Both brushes down. Room by the guard. Has he got the weight to move this? Moves it, puts it just to the back forefoot. Actually moves it far enough that he's got shot rock at the top of the forefoot. Again, mostly behind cover. Up a little higher now. Same attempt for Yamaguchi. Rocks, a couple of rocks widths higher this time. So he's got less room to finish by the guard. Sweeping for curl a little earlier this time. He's got a little bit more room coming by. He does want to clear that yellow at the back. He's going to be a little thinner. And the shooter rolls to the back 12-foot. So Yamaguchi sits one at the back 8. Second and third belong to Kelly Knapp, and a chance to come around that center guard. Once again, try to get a rock into a steal position. You could even get away with, I think, now coming out into the open by about a quarter of a rock, because you can't really chase it from the other side and take the risk of jamming it onto that red one. A lot of room coming by. I thought they were playing this to the top of the house, and this might be plan B that they're sweeping now, realizing it's just a little heavy and it will slide to the back, rubs off the red, but the red still shot rock back 8-foot. Just a little heavy for Kelly Knapp. Riku Yanagisawa now a chance to put big pressure on. If he can bury this himself in the top of the forefoot, Kelly Knapp needs to steal. Well, what's he going to have to set up a steal if you make this good? Won't be much. This doesn't look light. It's a long ways out there, trying to make it curl. Oh, they might have been better off to rub that on the way by, because this is going to be deep as well. Comes back, nudges his own stone. Does sit one. Kelly Knapp has room to get around that center guard. Be shot rock, maybe just bite the button. I still think he's in good shape where if he over curls, just sticks a quarter of the stone out in the open side, Yamaguchi's not going to be able to risk chasing it from the out turn, because he could push it into that red at the back. And I think Knapp might be second at the back. So again, extra pressure for, or extra reason, I guess, for Yamaguchi not to chase around the out turn side. He might kill his own. You make a good draw here. You force Yanagisawa to try to draw for his single. Kelly Knapp trailing by 2. He's a little heavy on his first draw here. Would like to steal. Needs to bury this in the top of the 4-foot. Brushers are staying close. Still got lots of room. It's curling, but he's got to get at least fully behind the guard. It's going now. They had to take it a little bit just to get it buried. He does end up behind the tee line. Deep enough now that it's hard to imagine doing any damage if you wanted to chase from the outturn side. You get that line and put it that much in front of the tee line instead of that much behind. And this is a really dangerous shot. But now it looks to be a shot for 2. And 2 might be too many. 1, we're probably still playing. I mean, you're only 3 up, and Kelly Knapp just got a 3 in the 6th. 4 might be handshakes. Big shot here for Riku Yanagasawa. Lost their opener. Would dearly love to pick up a win here, move to even with a couple more games to go in the round-robin qualifying portion here. Starting to curl now. He's got room by the front one, so they'll switch. He wants to get close to the nose. Now it's actually across the nose. Is he going to move it far enough? He does move it just far enough. Looks like Yamaguchi will pick up 2. And we will play on. Kelly Knapp's going to have to try to pick up 4 in the 8th. One more look at this. I think they got caught a little bit, maybe not sure of the weight. They almost started to switch on that as if they wanted it to come across, and did switch coming by the guard. He gets far enough across it, only hits about half. If he hits that any thinner, probably doesn't move it far enough, but he will push it back, picks up his 2 points and the 4-point lead after 7 ends of play.
Hey, Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Kelly Knapp with his work cut out for him here in the 8th end, trailing by 4. And this is a strategy call that you see come about as a result of the no tick zone. You normally, needing to score with last rock, you throw up corner guards. But you throw up corner guards, one of the things that's crept into the 4-player game is that outside tick shot from the doubles game where you try to push it into the ring so you've got something you can hit on the second one. The counter to that, the defense, so that they can't play it, is you got to put it in the no-tick zone. So throwing a center guard here, even with last rock, that prompts the throw-through. And looks like they're going to throw the second center high one this time. sure they were calling it for a high one. This is going to come a little bit deep. They still need it to touch center. It gets there. But that's a hard to miss double peel later on. Can't play it yet. This is still just the 5th stone of the end. With a 4-point lead, I think you're probably throwing this through again. And now for Kelly Knapp, because you can't just leave him the blast double on that, you have to play kind of a split to break them up. Well, they're gonna play the come around, and what they're hoping is that you get a nice come around, and when they try to play the double, there is the chance that it comes straight back and dead sticks on something. They're so close together, I think it's going to drag hard enough. It probably doesn't make contact in the rings at all, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Nice line coming by on the freeze attempt. Well, it's on the right side for you because the easiest way to play this double peel, you hit, as we look at Yamaguchi in the house, you play to hit it on the left-hand side. The drag should come from left to right onto the yellow that was just thrown. And you need to hope for jam if you're Kelly Knapp. You need to hope he hits it 3/4 and doesn't actually kill anything yellow, but big weight coming here from Yamamoto. Looking to make some rocks fly. Well, he's pretty close to the nose. Well, that didn't drag that much, partly because he hit it so thick. He will get rid of 2 yellows, one of the guards and one of the ones in the rings. Knapp looking for the come around here and talking about trying to get all the way to the back and around that red stone in the button area. You know they're likely playing the peel on the guard, so you'd like to be behind the red stone. That way if they peel the guard, you're still covered. Still plenty of room, but you know this is going to move big from the hog line in. Starting to go now. Got a nice line, just really doesn't have the weight that they needed. They needed to be back of the house now. It'll be a straight peel, and then that stone at the top of the 4-foot will be exposed. And you really can't afford to throw any more guards either. Oh, almost caught the second guard. That would have been pretty much the end. Well, not a lot of choices now for Kelly Knapp. You got 4 stones left. You got 1 in the rings. It's wide open. So you come around deep around the corner guard. Yamaguchi will have choices. He could just hit the open one. He actually could peel the corner guard towards the open one because it's his own corner guard. Then there's no place to hide. This needs to be deep. It's pretty good. You could, if you hit this just off the nose, clip the red, it goes towards the one that was just thrown. You make the double. The game's over. Looks like he's playing just the straight peel on the yellow one. So you come around again. Really doesn't matter how high or how deep you are. You can come right down to your own. Doesn't matter. He's peeling the guard. Then you've got nowhere to hide. As long as he makes the peel on the guard, he's going to have an open one for his last one to run you out of rocks. You got to bury this. Nice line coming in. And will come right down to his own stone, and that's absolutely fine. Call their timeout. They can see the back one. I think they were calling it just to play it safe, make sure they have plenty of time to get down to the other end. They still had 2 minutes by the looks of it on the clock, so they will have plenty of time to decide what to do on their last one if they have to throw it. If he can make one of these yellows go away here, he won't have to throw it. Can see half of the very back one, just trying to pick out something yellow. Riku Yamaguchi with his first stone, and he's all over the guard. Well, if you're Kelly Knapp, you need a wide open miss anyway. You may as well hit this red one now. If you happen to get the wide open miss, at least you're going to have an open shot with the last one. He has elected to throw the draw. Brendan Jones liked the hit. I liked it as well. Managed to just bite the 12-foot. But I think you'll just see Yamaguchi play the hit from the other turn now. The only way he gets in trouble, you hit the outside of that rock and drive it onto the red if you ever jammed it. Pretty much all over. Or tight broom. You can play the in-turn with tight ice like that too. That's fine. Setting up like he's throwing the out. Nope, throwing the in. Started out with a very neutral position. Makes the hit. It goes away. The shooter rolls as well. There'd be a shot for 3, but 3 won't be enough. The gloves come off. Kelly Knapp falls to Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi here in this second game for both of these teams in round robin action. That drops both teams, or drops Knapp to 1-1, moves Yamaguchi up to 1-1. Both of these teams 2 games left to play in the round robin portion of the qualifying here at the Grand Slam Canadian Open Tier 2 event in Martensville. We will have all of the action here on the Curling Stadium YouTube channel through to Saturday evening, the semifinals. The finals move into Merlis Belcher Place on Sunday. We look forward to having you here all weekend long. Hope you've been enjoying the action so far. It continues, men's and women's action for the rest of tonight, all day tomorrow, all day Friday, playoffs on Saturday. We will have it all for you here. You will not miss a thing. My name's Sean Joyce. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. On production for me, Matthew Hone. The next draw coming up in about 2 hours' time.